Hello everyone, this is VGTI, and it's time to dig into some Zelda theories. I know some of you might have been waiting for this for a while, and I myself have been wanting to do this for a while, I just haven't gotten around to it. As a lot of you might know, there's a lot of theories to this franchise. There's a lot of theories for very specific games in the franchise. And there's a lot of theories in general for The Legend of Zelda that I just want to tackle. It's a big series with a lot to cover, and because of that, there's going to be multiple videos covering different specific theories for The Legend of Zelda. Basically, I just have a lot to theorize about. Same with Pikmin. So, let's dig right in. I wanted to pick a theory that a lot of you might be familiar with, rather than start off with a more obscure one. So, in this video, I am going to be talking about the Interlopers. And if you played Twilight Princess, then you might recognize that. The Interlopers were, well, I'll get to that in a second. Basically, the Light Spirit, or one of the Light Spirits in Twilight Princess, tells Link about the Interlopers. And the reason why there's theories about the Interlopers is that we didn't get much details about them. We don't know who they were or what they were, and because of that, a lot of fans have been speculating as to who they could have been, and there's a few theories on what they might have been. I'm going to give my own opinion on the subject and tell you what I think. So before we get to the theories themselves, I'm going to give you a bit more background on what the Interlopers did and who exactly they were. All the info we have to go on is what the Light Spirit told Link about them. In a vision, you see the 3 Dark Links, and apparently they are the Interlopers. But don't take this as meaning, oh, the Interlopers look like Dark Link. No, that's just for the sake of this vision. We don't actually know what they look like, and that's hence where all these theories are coming from. But basically, who the Interlopers were, they were a group of people who wanted to control the power of the Triforce. This happened during the Hyrulean Civil War, which happened a short time before Ocarina of Time took place. And during this war, the Interlopers tried to get into the Sacred Realm, similar to what Ganondorf tries to do, and they tried to get control of the Triforce. However, they were stopped by the Light Spirits themselves. The Light Spirits were sent down by the Golden Goddesses to stop them. Now, what the Interlopers were using, they were apparently good at using dark magic, and they used their dark magic through a sort of mask-like thing called the Fused Shadow. And the Fused Shadow is an item in Twilight Princess. Midna is wearing part of it on her head. You have to find the pieces of it, and it's a pretty important plot device in that game. But I won't go too much into what it does or what it is. But basically, for this theory's sake, it's just what they used as part of their dark magic. So, the Light Spirits were summoned by the Golden Goddesses, and the Interlopers were stopped. And what happened after that was, as punishment, the goddesses banished the Interlopers to the Twilight Realm, where they could never return. And, basically the Twilight Realm was used as a prison, and the Interlopers stayed there. They started getting accustomed to life there, and they started evolving and changing into what we see as the Twilight. The people in Twilight Princess. Midna herself is Twilight, and so is Zant. Basically, their ancestors were the Interlopers. Which begs the question, who were the Interlopers? Like, what species were they? Were they a species that we know? A lot of people have theorized about this, and I'm going to tell you guys the many different theories about who the Interlopers might have been, of which there are, there's 3 that I think are the most convincing, and here's what they are. The first theory is that the Interlopers were the Sheikah, and as you know, the Sheikah, they are really close to the Hyrule royal family, and they also practice dark magic. And, well, the second theory is the Gerudo. So we have the Sheikah and we have the Gerudo. The Gerudo, there's multiple points which I'll cover as to why they might be the Interlopers. But then finally there's the third theory, that it was a mix of races and not just one singular race. So, which is the most convincing? Well, there's different points that, give pros to each different theory. For one thing, we have the Sheikah. Like I said, they are close to the Hyrule royal family, so they would have more knowledge of the Sacred Realm and the Triforce. And, some of them might have even backstabbed the royal family, and it would hence name, the Interlopers. But they would have knowledge of the Sacred Realm, probably, because of this. And as we know, the Sheikah are often symbolized by shadows and darkness, and if they eventually became the Twilight, that would further connect them. The Sheikah practiced dark magic. Their symbols were in Twilight Princess. Basically, there's a lot of connections between them and the darkness of the Twilight, and how they might have had knowledge of the Sacred Realm. So, there's also the fact that there's only one existing Sheikah in Twilight Princess, and that is Impaz, which you find her in this old village later on in the game, and she's the only Sheikah in the game, so you have to wonder what happened to the rest of them. Next up, we have the Gerudo. There's many different pros towards the Gerudo theory as well. First of all, the entrance to the Twilight Realm via the Mirror of Twilight is in the Gerudo Desert itself. So, that might seem like a minor nuance, but then you have the other points, which the Twilight have orangish colored hair. Midna states that the Twilight were originally a tribe of thieves, which would fit the Gerudo. And there's Gerudo symbols on Xant's outfit. And there's the fact that Xant worshipped Ganondorf, even before coming into contact with Ganondorf. It makes you wonder. Those are the main points. Plus there's the fact that, as I mentioned with the Sheikah, you don't see many of them in Twilight Princess, just that one, Impaz. But it's even worse with the Gerudo. You don't see any Gerudo in Twilight Princess. They are seemingly gone. And there have been theories about that as well. Like, was there a genocide of some sort as punishment for what went on with Ganondorf? Or maybe they became the Twilight. Now, those are the two main ones. Then there's the theory that it's a mix of races, which I'm going to get to in a second. There's one other thing I want to mention. There's a theory about the Interlopers that say they might have been the ancient tribe, or the ancient ones that are mentioned in Majora's Mask that we never see. The ones who made Majora's Mask and ended up sealing it away. I personally don't think that the Interlopers and the Ancient Ones are the same. However, as we know, there are Terminian counterparts to a lot of the aspects and people of Hyrule. So because of this, I think that the Ancient Ones might be the Terminian counterparts to the Interlopers, but they're not the Interlopers themselves. So I don't personally believe that theory. So let's go back. Let's go to the mix theory. The idea that it's multiple races. I thought about this theory for a while, and one problem kept cropping up. If you tie this theory down to a specific race, problems arise. For instance, say that you think the Interlopers are just the Sheikah. Well, how would you explain the weird coincidences between the Twilight and the Gerudo? And the same could be applied vice versa. If you think it was just the Gerudo, how would you explain the weird coincidences between the Twilight, the Interlopers, and the Sheikah? So, the mix theory, as far as, making sense goes, seems to be the most likely. It was a mix of races. It was some Gerudo, it was some Sheikah who backstabbed the Hyrule royal family, and who knows, it might have been some other races too, maybe even some Hylians. and that could explain some of the size differences in between like different people in the Twilight race as well. But personally, I think the mix theory is the best one. It makes the most sense, because any other way would just open up holes in the theory. If you say it's a mix of species, then that would account for all of the strange coincidences with all of the different species involved in these theories. So, honestly, I think that is who the Interlopers were. They were a mix of races, and it also explains why we don't see a lot of them in Twilight Princess. There's other reasons for that too, but this is part of that. So that is going to wrap it up, guys. Please let me know in the comments what you think of this theory, what you think of my opinion that it is the mix theory, or tell me your own theories about the Interlopers and what you think they were. Just let me know and start more of a discussion. I'd like to hear what you guys think. And if you want me to cover any specific Zelda theory, you're just itching to hear me talk about one of them, then make sure to tell me in the comments and I will see what I can do. The same goes for any other video games as well. So that was kind of a short one, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting it to be this short, but that's okay. I just wanted to kind of get the ball rolling for future Legend of Zelda theory videos, so expect a lot of that. If you like this video and you like video game theories, then feel free to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate the support, guys. I don't know what my next theory video will be, but we'll just have to see. I have a few in mind, so keep an eye out, guys, and thanks for everything. I will see you all in my next video.